Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're doing something really incredible. We are completely decoding the intersection of ancient healing and modern quantum biology, and it all starts right there in the palm of your hand. I'm absolutely thrilled to share this with you today because we're diving deep into this fascinating space where millennia-old traditional Chinese medicine lines up perfectly with the cutting edge of quantum mechanics and biofield science.
Albert Szent-Györgyi, the Nobel Prize-winning biochemist, really hit the nail on the head with this observation. In every culture and in every medical tradition before ours, healing is accomplished by moving energy. We're going to see how moving that energy isn't just some philosophical metaphor. It is a very real, measurable, biological, and quantum reality. Because when energy flows the right way, our cells actually communicate, and our physical bodies absolutely thrive. So here's our quick roadmap for today. We're hitting 5 key areas. First, the Palace of Toil. Then the biological healing bridge. Third is the quantum energy matrix. Fourth, we'll talk about activating your healing energy. And finally, projecting qi and protection.
All right, let's jump straight into part 1, the Palace of Toil. Where exactly is this ancient sanctuary of healing?
Go ahead and actually look at your own palm right now. Seriously, curl your fingers into a loose, relaxed fist. Right where the tip of your middle finger touches the center of your palm, that exact spot is the Laogong. In traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, this is the 8th point on the pericardium meridian, so you'll often hear it called PC8. It's essentially a direct interface between your internal biology and the outside world.
And I just love the linguistic duality of this point. The word lao means labor or toil, right? Which makes sense. Our hands are literally our primary tools for physical work and exertion. But hidden right there in the very center is gong, which means palace or sacred sanctuary. In the TCM framework, the pericardium is known as the heart protector. So amidst all our daily grind and hard work, our hands actually contain this sacred built-in gateway designed specifically for deep recovery and for protecting our heart from stress.
Moving on to part 2, the biological healing bridge. How exactly does this ancient idea of calming the heart fire translate into modern physiology?
Well, when we actually look at the clinical data tracking heart rate variability, it's wild. Stimulating the Laogong point literally acts as a physiological brake pedal for your body. We see this immediate spike in high-frequency power and RMSSD. Now, those are basically just fancy scientific metrics proving that your vagus nerve has successfully fired up your rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system. By pressing on this exact anatomical spot, you send signals shooting right up that vagus nerve, which effectively slashes stress hormones, like plasma cortisol, right out of your bloodstream.
And so what happens when you physically lower that cortisol and tweak the HPA axis? That metabolic shift directly calms your mind. Psychologically, it wipes out chronic anxiety and restlessness. And metabolically, it clears out systemic physical inflammation, which TCM traditionally calls pathogenic heat. This is exactly why stimulating the Laogong is clinically proven to resolve heat-induced issues, things like mouth ulcers or even reckless bleeding. You are literally biologically cooling the entire system down.
Okay, part 3, the quantum energy matrix. This is where we step past biology and get into subatomic physics and biofield science.
Consider this quote from Albert Einstein. "The field is the sole governing agency of the particle." If Einstein's idea holds true for our biology, it completely flips the standard medical model upside down. It implies that if we correct the energetic field, that field then governs the physical molecules of our body. In modern biofield science, true health is just a state of perfect subatomic communication, light and energy transferring flawlessly between your cells. Supply the right energy to the biofield and you incite order in the particles, basically reversing disease states from the quantum level on up.
So the big takeaway here is that distance healing isn't just some mystical magic trick anymore. Modern researchers frame this as distance quantum biofield energy therapy. It operates entirely on the very real physics principles of quantum entanglement and teleportation. We're talking about the non-local transmission of biophotonic messages encoded directly into someone's energy matrix. The Laogong point acts as this incredibly powerful transmitter, letting a practitioner direct conscious, healing energy into another person's biofield, affecting them instantly, no matter how much physical distance is between them.
Part 4, activating your healing energy. All of this quantum stuff sounds amazing, but how do you actually turn this potential on in your own hands? Let's get into the practical steps.
It starts incredibly simply with kinetic and thermal generation. Literally, just rub your palms together right now, vigorously, to create friction and heat. That physical action spikes local blood flow and wakes up the nerve endings, shifting your hands out of a dormant state and into a highly active bioenergetic one.
Once you feel that warmth and tingling, you move to direct acupressure. Take the thumb of one hand and apply moderate pressure into the Laogong point of the other, using slow, small circles. That clears out the heat, centers your mind, and throws the energy gate wide open.
A great way to visualize this is to imagine your arms are literally water hoses. When you cup your fingers slightly, it's like pinching the hose. You're controlling or pausing the flow. But when you deliberately open and extend those fingers, you release that pinch, unleashing this massive flow of qi right out through the Laogong points. And here is a crucial detail. While you do this, focus on the young quan points. Those are the bubbling spring points on the soles of your feet. That keeps you safely grounded and rooted to the Earth's energy.
Which brings us to part 5, projecting qi and protection. Because if you're going to use this energy to heal others, you absolutely need strict safety protocols so you don't get sick yourself. This right here is the absolute golden rule for any hands-on or distance healing. Never, ever push your own vital energy. If you act like the battery, you are going to drain your own internal jing, and that leads straight to severe fatigue and illness. You have to act as a conduit instead. You draw universal energy into your lower abdomen, the dantian, and simply let it guide up your spine, out your arms, and through your Laogong points. Acting as a channel guarantees you don't accidentally transmit your own physical pathogens to the person you're healing, and it totally shields you from theirs.
Now, to further protect yourself from external pathogens, your body uses something TCM calls Wei Qi. You can think of this as your defensive energetic armor. It circulates right there in the superficial muscle and skin layers, acting as your frontline defense against environmental microbes and negative energy. It literally controls the opening and closing of your pores, and it is directly powered by the quality of the food you eat and the air you breathe.
And this shield is an active defense. If a microbe or external wind actually tries to attack, your Wei Qi goes right on the offensive. It tightens up your neck and back muscles to block the invasion, it cranks up your body temperature, and it forces you to sweat. That sweat isn't an accident, right? It's the Wei Qi naturally flushing and purging that invading pathogen straight out of your system through the skin.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this one provocative thought. If the very atoms of your body are held together by conscious energy, what actually happens when you finally learn to direct it? From the ancient wisdom of the Palace of Toil to the absolute cutting edge of quantum teleportation and vagal nerve modulation, you possess an intricate, incredibly powerful universe of healing potential right there in the palms of your hands. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. Keep exploring, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.